Top of the morning. It's the morning tap in. We got a good one today. We're going to jump into the U.S. Olympic runner being tased. We're also going to look at the manifesto from the Cybertruck bomber. And we're going to talk about the technology of the year, the prediction, if it's going to happen. And I want to get your thoughts. Let's go ahead and jump on into it.
In body camera footage, multiple Miami Beach police officers are seen pinning down Olympic medalist Fred Kerley. Police say it all started while officers were involved in an investigation. Kerley was trying to get to his car, which was parked in the area of the scene. Officers say he was acting aggressively when they asked him to back up.
Mr. Kerley then battered one of our officers by pushing him in his chest, at which point our officers went hands-on to detain the subject.
This is a moment when things escalated. An officer pushes him back and Kerley swats his hand down. As police struggle to detain the 6'3" runner, an officer decides to use another tactic.
Hey, I'm gonna tase him. Stop!
At one point, he pleaded with the officers to get off his legs.
Bro, get off my legs. I need my legs. Your legs? Get off my legs.
His girlfriend, a reality show star and DJ, was also arrested and charged with resisting.
Come on, man. Sometimes you got to think, I got too much at stake. Too much is going well for me. I've come too far in life. Is this the battle that I want to pick? Something about this doesn't seem right. I'm sure there's going to be more body cam footage coming out as well. This is terrible.
Resisting arrest without violence.
He was not aggressive, but at one point it's like, how can I let 3 people jump on top of me and do that to me?
The Olympian appeared in front of a Miami-Dade judge.
Looks like he wanted to get to his car, which was in an active police scene, and things escalated.
Well, it looks like he was beaten up pretty badly by the police, from what I read.
The Miami Beach Fraternal Order of Police issued this statement. I am very disappointed that Judge Mindy Glazer did not look at our officers' body-worn cameras before she acted more like a defense attorney at the bond hearing than an unbiased judge. She must have also not been aware that as she was sympathizing with him and his defense attorney, that this model citizen was wanted for domestic violence involving strangulation and robbery.
Wow. Now, here we go. He goes from a gold medal to in handcuffs, a different type of medal on him. And then the police here are throwing all types of past issues and things, trying to really, hurt his image. This is not good. This is not good. I have seen the video, as you saw, and I do think that the police, used excessive force here. I do think he, should not have reached towards the officer. But, if you're talking about force, matching force, this definitely was not a case of it. And you have a U.S. Olympic runner. This was just a terrible, terrible situation. So, look, I want to go ahead and jump into this Cybertruck manifesto. This letter was given to a guy named Sam Shumate by Matt, who is the one that was found in the Cybertruck. Let's listen to the manifesto.
And so this email came in on December 31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or on to the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes, he says drones, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have this capability. Our OPSEN, that's Operations Center, our OPSEN location for this activity is in the box below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they used the balloon for SIGINT and ISR.
Is it just me, or does this seem like something that's out of a movie, Tom Cruise movie? Cybertruck new president, Elon Musk, letter. Was he alive? You know, when the truck blew up? Is this letter real? It's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding this. It's a lot going on. It's a lot to unpack. Let's hear the rest of this manifesto letter.
Which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. U.S. government needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have.
You know, and I've been following this for the last couple of days, and this is the part that I don't want to say sounds suspicious, but I'm a bit confused, and maybe you can tell me about it. Why is the CIA, FBI following him at this point? Why were they tracking him? What did he know? Was he already going rogue, already as an active duty officer? I'm curious. I want to know. I got questions.
A massive V-bid. Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive V-bid. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a V-bid was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice, and he goes, you said that word V-bid. Can you tell me what that is? For your audience, a V-bid, for your audience who has not been in the GWOT for the last 20 years, a V-bid is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower. So, backing up, he says, I am armed and have a massive V-bid. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. Here's where he gets into the other stuff. And this is where we had to redact the names. Well, your producer redacted the names. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civcas, that's civilian casualties, that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with U.S. FORA, an agent redacted.
Wow, this is a bit chilling. So what we have here is a whistleblower. We have a whistleblower and someone who has anti-China sentiments. I don't know if they're real, if he's delusional, but it's a lot going on here. And I can see we're going to be finding out a lot more about this in the coming months. Let's finish up the rest of the manifesto letter.
Of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with redacted IO staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murghab. Redacted commander at the time, redacted can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. Then he says, for vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18 Zulu out of 110, that's 1st Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP, USAP access.
What is USAP? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is. But I checked his credentials on LinkedIn. So that was the first thing I did. I went to his LinkedIn page. First thing I noticed was all of his bona fides were in place. He has all the UAS training from USASOC and everything else. And so I said, okay, at least the guy knows what he's talking about with drones. That was
I'm almost certain he, has classified information, knows a lot of things that maybe can put America at jeopardy. And this is something that maybe they didn't want to go out to the American public, unfortunately. I said it seems like a movie, and sometimes life is like a movie, just like we say. But this is definitely an unfortunate situation. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Was Matt dead prior to the bombing? Did he go rogue? What's your thoughts on the Cybertruck manifesto? Is the letter real? Was it manufactured? Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. And then let's go ahead and jump into technology of the year. Let's see what they got for us.
We haven't seen, I think we're going to see a bunch of raft of new unicorns in the application layer of AI. We have the infrastructure layer, we have the LLMs themselves. But every innovation or new technology creates a bunch of interesting consumer applications. Well, IPO of the year, I think it's going to be an interesting one because it's probably going to have the London Exchange. Shein, these asset light models, and disclosure, I'm an investor, but if you look at Airbnb versus Marriott, it needs a third of the employees for the same revenue. If you look at Zara, they're doing about 400,000 per employee, whereas Shein's at 2 million per employee. If you look at Uber versus the car manufacturers, these asset light, all IP intensive versus CapEx intensive companies, Shein doesn't own a single truck, factory, warehouse, store. It's all software driven. And this year it's bigger than Amazon retail in apparel. And next year it's going to pass Walmart to be the biggest apparel retailer in the world. And it's going public on the London Exchange. I think for a lot of reasons, that's going to quote unquote be the IPO of the year. I think the technology of the year is nuclear. You just saw Facebook basically put out an RFP saying, build us a nuclear power plant. The friction in AI is energy. That requires 10 times the energy. And people have realized that it's one of the safest, most productive, most reliable sources of energy. It's just been terribly branded the last 20 or 30 years. But some of the biggest brains have turned their massive capital fire hoses on nuclear. 2025 is going to be the year of nuclear. That'll be the technology of the year.
I've heard a lot about nuclear. I personally have to do some more studying on that. But what I do know, as a person who loves business, I have a master's degree in business as well. And of course, that's my 9 to 5. OpEx versus CapEx is what companies are looking for. If you can have a business model like Shein, where you don't have retail stores, you don't have, all the overhead of employees, and you can do the same kind of revenue that a larger company can do, you're going to win. You're going to do very well on the stock exchange. So Shein, other companies like that are going to continue to do well. If you're an entrepreneur, you're looking to start a business, look at these kind of business models. You're certain to win. In regards to AI applications, open AI, if you're into developing, if you're into product management, I encourage you to jump into this. There's going to be a lot of room in this space to add value, to produce something that works for business to customers, or even just customers on the daily use, like Chat GPT. There may need to be a Chat GPT for business. That's what I got for you today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the morning tap in. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and share. If you want more financial tips and news like this, make sure you comment. Talk to you next time, family. All right, peace.